Hi there and welcome, and thank you very much for taking your time to come out and join me today. For some time now I've been thinking about having a rucksack as a bug out bag, a grab and go bag, not so much in the prepping sense, although this rucksack and its contents would come in useful in an emergency or a survival situation. I was thinking more having a rucksack that I can just have at hand, maybe it's leaving the boot of the car, just get a bottle of water to put that in there and just head off out into the woods maybe for a few hours, sit underneath a tree and just enjoy some time in nature, or maybe head to the beach for a walk along the beach, or maybe he's by the river and sit on a riverbank and just spend some quality time to myself in nature. The rucksack itself, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, is a 24-hour patrol pack. It looks a pretty decent pack, and it's made by a company called Miltech. So what I'll do now, we'll empty the rucksack and we'll take a look at its contents. Before we take a look at the contents, let's take a little look at the pack itself. And as I mentioned earlier, it's made by a company called Miltech, and it's a military style, I believe, a 24-hour patrol pack, and I think this one's 25 litres. And I'm quite happy with it. It's got seems really strong, seems really robust, and it's got lots of different compartments, so you can separate your gear, your equipment. Obviously your bigger items in the bigger storage area, smaller items in a smaller storage area. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted a pack that I can just grab and go, just so I can go and spend a few hours in nature, just a little bit of time to myself, that sort of thing. And let's start off by looking at my backhoe Laplander saw, obviously for prepping firewood. That's a great bit of kit. It's quite compact, they're really reliable. You can purchase new blades if need be, and it folds and just packs away in the rucksack very well. Then we've got my fire kit. Inside there are various methods of fire lighting, also a couple of lighters and some extra fuel for the lighters. That one in particular is a windproof lighter, so that's a pretty useful bit of kit. Then we'll take a little look at my twig stove. This is just one of those budget twig stoves that you can buy on the likes of eBay. I think they come in at a price under £20, and this one, as you can see, I've modified. I've made that modification, and I think that turns makes the stove that little bit better. It's a little bit more sturdy. It's not so flimsy. So that's my twig stove. Then if we move down, I've added a micro head net, a bug net. If the insects are biting and bit of a nuisance, get a bit of respite from that. Then we've got a couple of knives there sitting on a pair of gloves, just a small knife. As you can see, that's a little bit marked from using it on a ferro rod. If we move along, I've got a poncho there that doubles up as a tarp, so if I'm out and the weather does turn bad, at least I've got some form of shelter. And in that dry bag there, I've got some cordage in the form of jungle knots, a pretty useful knot. Then if we move along, we've got my water bottle, and then we've got a method of sterilising water, purifying water with my Sawyer Mini water filter there. And if we just move a little along a bit further, we've got my BCB mug, and inside there I've got various coffees and some tea bags with a little bit of a alcohol burner that just sits in the housing on the base of the BCB mug. We've got some alcohol there, bioethanol we've got. Then I've got my cup, and here we've got some sanitary stuff. We've got some tissues, we've got some wipes, we've got some hand sanitizer, and then we've got a head torch. This is Sunbelser, and these are a really decent head torch, especially for the price. They're really good. That one was gifted, that one was sent to me by Sunbelser. Then I've got a few snacks, some beef jerky, some cereal type brunch oat bars, some nuts, very tasty, just to keep morale up and if you're a little bit hungry. Then I've got something to either sit or kneel on, and that's a handy bit of kit, especially like so today when the ground's so damp, saves getting achy knees. So yeah, that's my kit for my bug out bag, my grab and go bag. I think that pretty much covers all parameters. If there's anything there that you think would be useful, please let me know in the comments. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm going to keep the video short and sweet, and I'm sure you'll agree with me that the contents of that rucksack would come in useful if ever needed in a survival emergency situation. I've got bladed tools, I've got method of firelighting, I've got a shelter there in the form of the poncho tarp. So I think covers basically majority of parameters. Maybe it's a compass, something like that, but although my watch does have a compass built into it. But yeah, I'm quite happy with that. If there's anything that you think that would be a good addition to that, please let me know in the comments. I hope you found the video useful and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new around here, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I really would appreciate that. And checking out all our other content. And I'd just like to end the video by saying thank you very much for watching. And as always, stay safe and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.